Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. My name's Nicholas Wapaya. I see you've caught me enjoying a fine wine here that's now become a red cup, as per request of my legal team. All while cozying up by a nice fire in the middle of May and listening to Cello Suite Number 1 by Johann Sebastian Bach. Quite little setup, wouldn't you say? A nice, cozy, regal atmosphere. Fine dining, fine wine, fine music. Oh, joyous day it is. With this rich European facade. Sure, it would be funny if something were to juxtapose this whole scenario to further emphasize the comedic nature of this video. You actually thought something was gonna happen, didn't you? Oh, don't be so foolish. As if anything like that would ever happen. How ridiculous.
Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give. When an irresistible force such as you needs an old immovable object like me, you can bet as sure as you live, something's gotta give.
If there's one thing I love, it's movies. Crazy, right? Who would have thunk? A film student talking about films in a film class? Goodness gracious! Oh my god! Oh my goodness! I also absolutely love music. I mean, I literally have entire playlists dedicated to songs I'd play for different scenarios. Plot twist, some of the music I'm using right now is from one of those playlists. I think. I don't know. But what if movies used music really well? And I'm not talking musicals here.
Even though Tenacious D in the Pick of Destiny is actually a really, really good movie starring Jack Black and Kyle Gass, you guys should go watch it. It's really good.
I want you to close your eyes while I set the scene real quick. So, imagine the opening credits of a movie. The world is frozen in place in the middle of an action-packed scenario full of blood and guts and explosions, the whole shebang, really. Now imagine that gets completely juxtaposed as Angel of the Morning by Juice Newton plays and the camera pans to a guy in a red suit with his crotch in a bleeding man's face, all while the text for one of the cast members just reads, "A CGI character." Alright, now, open those bad boys up. If it wasn't obvious by now, I'm referring to the opening credits of Deadpool. The visuals combined with the juxtaposing music instantly sets the tone, making the audience know that Deadpool is not only a gruesome gore fest, but one that smiles the whole way through as the insane, fourth wall breaking merc with a mouth takes nothing seriously, and neither should the audience. You may have heard me use that little wacky word there with the X in it. You know, sounds like a tad bit French. It's got that je ne sais quoi to it. That's right, kids. Can you say juxtaposition? Good! But Nick, you may ask as you sound oddly like Peter Griffin for some reason. What the hell does juxtaposition mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. According to my good friend Webster, juxtaposition is the act or an instance of placing two or more things side by side, often to compare or contrast, or to create an interesting effect. Now, let's apply this to movies made by dudes who just want to show off their taste in music. You know, they're like the kind of person who never shuts up about Spotify. Or they say they have like such a huge palette even though like they only listen to 3 people for like a month. And then after that they don't listen to them anymore because like, oh yeah, they were part of my cringe phase. Not that I'm speaking from personal encounters, of course. Anyways, Let's take a look at how someone like James Gunn uses music to juxtapose scenes in his movies, and how that makes up the identity of his movies. When looking at Guardians of the Galaxy, a perfect example that comes to mind is the intro sequence that introduces us to Star-Lord, played by none other than famous actor and star of the Lego Movie and Jurassic World, Garfield. The movie starts us off with an opening scene full of emotions, such as the death of Peter Quill's mom and his abduction by the Ravager clan. We then transition to an eerie cave on a dark planet. We see a very gruff and older version of Peter. We get adventurer vibes from his attire and equipment. Just then, the eerie and mysterious tone is completely thrown out the window when Peter whips out his headphones and Come and Get Your Love plays as the title appears with some Mickey Mousing. The whole dangerous vibe of the setting and tone of the overall scene is completely juxtaposed as our protagonist is dancing and lip-syncing alongside a rock song from 1974. In turn, this subverts the audience's expectations and establishes a completely new set of expectations as they're informed that this isn't your average superhero movie. Strap in, because you're in for one hell of a ride. On top of that, there's a huge emphasis on both meta-diegetic and diegetic sound. Not only do the characters hear the music that plays from Peter's Walkman, but at some point it becomes a backing track of whatever action is happening, acting as the representation of how a character feels in the moment. This is especially effective in fight scenes like in the sequels to really push that feeling of what's more badass and fun than gunning down bad guys in space while listening to some 70s rock. All in all, it's clear as day how movies can utilize songs that juxtapose certain scenes to assist itself and further emphasize its own identity. James Gunn's Guardians films wouldn't be the same if they didn't have the 70s to 90s rock classics. Nor would a famous scene like the axe murder in American Psycho work if it had a normal orchestral composition. Whether it's for that hell yeah moment or that oh fuck moment, sound design in film is extremely important, as it's one of the key ingredients that helps build the scene along with composition and writing. And with all of that being said, I think it's about high time you make like a tree and get the f*** out of here. Good night, Tri-State Area.